Okay, so here's another tutorial that we're going to have a muck around with. The first couple we're just drawing some fairly simple shapes and um, adjusting and making them, extruding them and things like that. I'm going to very quickly now just go through and do a funny little shape here. And we can get you to have a go at this a bit later on. And what I'm going to do is make a little car. Now I want to trim off some things. Remember that the shortcut is X, so after a while you get to remember these things and you won't have to go searching for them anymore. And that's my little car. It's a pretty basic sort of a thing. I'm going to put a hole here, and can you see that little dotted line there? That gives me the center of the second hole I want, exactly in line with the first hole. So I come over here, the two centers are the same distance from the bottom. I'm going to select D and quickly dimension that one. We'll say that's 10. And we will dimension this one and say that one's 10. It's a bit of a boxy looking car, but that's all I want for now. Going to go to return, extrude. That's the profile I want. I might change that down to say 50. Okay. And there's my little car. Now, in this one here, when I hit the home button, it turns it around to that position there. Well, I don't want a car lying down at the side. I want my car. Oops, let's move that around. I want my car standing up like that. So what I can do now is when I come over here to the home, instead of using the left mouse button, use my right mouse button. And I want to come here and say set the current view to home. Fit to view, doesn't really matter which one you choose there. And what I do is wherever I move this now, when I click on the home button, it takes it back to the position that I chose. So that's handy sometimes. If you want to stand something up a different way, just change that home so that it always goes back to that. Okay, I'm going to go to File and Save As. And what would be a really good idea would be to have a new folder. I'm going to call that car. Because what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to have a couple of parts. I'm going to rename this body and I'm going to save that. Okay, now I'm going to go to a new part and I'm going to draw just a circle. D for dimension, 10 millimeters because that was the size of the hole. Just make that move it smaller with my scroll wheel. Return. This is going to be the axle. The car was 50 millimeters wide. I'm going to make some wheels that may be say 10 millimeters wide, so 50 plus 10 is 60 plus 10 is 70. So I'm going to extrude this here to 70 millimeters, and this is going to be my axle. Go File, Save As, Axle, saved in car with the body, and then I go to Part again, and I'm going to draw a circle, and then another little circle. D for dimension, drag that out. Oops. Just stop that for a sec. We'll come out here and do this one first of all. Now this one here, let's say we'll go 30 millimeters. And this one, click on that. That's got to be 10. The hole in the middle was 10. Here's my wheel, return, extrude, I think we said 10 millimeters, that's the profile, OK, and file, save as, wheel. Save. There you go, 3 components. Now, we're going to assemble those to make it a car. So we go to assembly. When we go to assembly, we get a blank screen. Okay, what I've got to do now is I've got to place the component. So what I've got to do is I've got to find it. I made a car. We're going to bring in the body. There it is there. I'm going to open that up. And there's the body. Now if I keep clicking, I can put as many bodies as I like on. If I right mouse click and click done, there you go. I've got 2 there, only need 1, so I can click on one, hit the delete button, and that one will go. Okay, now once again, it's come in a bit funny, so what we've got to do is we've got to turn that around, and if I click on that corner there, right mouse click, whoops, come over here to where the home button is, right mouse click, not letting me do it, so it's got to be right over the home key, set current view as home, fit to view, there we go, so whenever we move this now, it'll come back to that. Okay, we need 2 axles, so now we go back to place component, double click axle, 1, 2, right click, done. Place component, wheel, 1, 2, 3, 4, right click, done. So now we've got wheels, axles, body. Now we have to put it all together. Okay, underneath constrain. I might just move this out of the way a little bit, so I'm just going to move that over to here. This can be a bit confusing, but once you get the hang of it, it's really not too bad. So what we want to do here is we want to insert this axle into the wheel. So over here is insert. I choose the axle and I choose the wheel. Now you can see the arrow is pointing in the opposite direction to the axle. If I come over here, the arrow is pointing in the same direction. I want the arrow pointing in the opposite direction, so click there and it goes donk. Apply. Now the axle and the wheel are in line. If I grab this, I can move it around. Okay. It doesn't come all the way through, but if I move this around, the axle is here and the wheel is on the outside. So what I need to do is I need to change that. Let's try another one and we'll see what happens. So we're back onto insert, axle, whoops, cancel that. Let's try again, constrain, insert, axle, wheel, align. Something didn't work. What did we do wrong? Donk. If we move that around, need to move it around that way. You can see now that this axle goes all the way through and is lined up on the outside of that. So we had to use that align one on the first one. Okay, so let's go back to home. We'll change this one here. So we can apply that and close that down. Now we come to another part of the drawing here, this model view. Now it might be a good idea just to move that up a little bit. All of the things that we've brought in are down here. We brought in a body, we brought in an axle, then another axle, 1 wheel, 2 wheel, 3 wheel, 4 wheel. When I hover over any of those things there, see how they light up red. Okay, so the first axle, that one there, if we open up part of the tree here, okay, we did the insert, right click, click, right click, and we can edit. And over here we had opposed highlighted. We should have aligned highlighted. Okay, when I move that around, it's now lined up on the outside. Okay, so down here you can find each single one, each thing that you do down here at any time and change things. Let's quickly do, where are we? We'll move this down and we'll find constrain. We'll do insert, this one, aligned. This one we want to be offset 10 millimeters. Okay, some reason we've got inches here. So what we've got to do, we'll have to cancel that for a start. And on mine, I need to change something. So I've got to go to Tools, Document Settings, Units, Inches to millimeters, apply and close. Maybe you won't have to do that on yours, but on mine, for some reason, I had imperial measurements. Now I'm back to millimeters, so we'll try that one again. Insert, this one, we'll offset it 10 millimeters. Now, if I move that around, oops, move that back there. I don't want that, I've gone the wrong way. So what I've got to do here is back out of that and go minus 10 millimeters. And what I'll do there is, this is now sticking out 10 millimeters. That's what I'm after. I'm going to hit apply, move that back to home, and now you've got the dowel sticking through, and you've got a 10 millimeter hanging out through there, so the next wheel can go on there, and you'll have a wheel on either side. That's all I'm going to do. You draw yourself a simple little shape, roughly the size axle and wheels and things that I've got there, and see if you can assemble all of the wheels and axles to make yourself a little car. Have a go.